target them. Today, in fact, in my house in Delhi, when I'm not there, in fact my wife is not there, nobody was there, only my granddaughter 10 years was there. A mob attacked my house, you see. So the question is that if it's easy, I can immediately the police came and drove them away and all that. But my teen people, you see, when they become to the public eye, they'll be in trouble. So I keep them and tell them you stay in the background. So I think one of the things I have started is a new television station called krishnatv.net, which if you go to the website you can see its details, where I propose to take out things from our Ramayana, Mahabharata, etc. and put it in modern language, both in Tamil and English, later on in Hindi, and then of course other languages. I can of course never compete with ETV where they have done every language, but the fact is that I want to do that. That's one way, prepare the masses. Second is I am seriously thinking maybe next year, that is the end of next year, that I should start a institute and recruit 100 people every year and put them through a 4-month course on how to do RTI, how to file a case, how to argue a matter, how to deal with the police, and how to collect money without being called corrupt. All this, because you need money, but you need to have it clean. So how to keep accounts, all these basic things, basic tools of politics.
Yes, that's most needed, Dr. Swami. As I said, we need more Dr. Swamis, so more and more grooming is needed.
You're making some other people very angry by saying that.
Well, eventually it will be good for the country. So, శ్రోతలు యువ తెలుగు రేడియో కార్యక్రమం వింటున్నారు. డాక్టర్ సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం స్వామి గారు మన స్టూడియోలో ఉన్నారు. సనాతన ధర్మ ఫౌండేషన్ చేసేవారి హిందూ యూనిటీ డే, 4వ హిందూ యూనిటీ డేలో అధర్మ ఆఫ్ కరప్షన్ గురించి మాట్లాడడానికి వచ్చారు. హిందూ యూనిటీ డే ఈరోజు పొద్దున్న 11 నుంచి సాయంత్రం 4 వరకు ఉంటుంది. దాంట్లో డాక్టర్ సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం స్వామి గారు మాట్లాడతారు. అధిక వివరాలకు sdfglobal.org వెళ్ళొచ్చు. తర్వాత కేసీ గారు ఒక క్వశ్చన్ అడుగుతున్న తర్వాత మళ్ళీ బయలుదేరే సమయం అవుతుంది. డాక్టర్ స్వామి, దిస్ ఇస్ అబౌట్ ది హిందూ ఐడెంటిటీ. వాట్స్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ ఇస్ whenever I come across some people, they say that I know that they are practicing Hindus, but they say they are a spiritualist or they are a universalist, or people are scared of using the H word, the Hindu word.
Yes.
So I would like to find out what you think about it, what are the repercussions, and then what can we do to undo it, because if there is no proper identity, I think the future generations will have an impact on that.
See, what happened in the 18th and 19th century is that Aurobindo, Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, then Swami Dayananda Saraswati, not the present Tamil one, but the Gujarati one, they all, Swami Sraddhanand, these people mounted a huge campaign to drive the British out. And they got tremendous mobilization. So the British came to the conclusion that this Hindu religion, is over 80%. And these sadhu sannyasis are held in respect. So we should not allow them to be able to mobilize the Hindus. We must keep them divided on caste, religion, this thing, language, and all that. So therefore they wanted to create a new concept. They brought in this concept of secularism. Unfortunately, Jawaharlal Nehru swallowed it. And soon secularism meant not proudly proclaiming your religion. You may not be against Muslims, you may not be against Christians, but you should not even say, I'm proud to be a Hindu. So this kind of thing continued, got introduced in the books. Then the problem became that communists became very influential in the 50s and 60s of India, particularly up till the 70s. So the communists hate religion. So therefore what they do is, anyone with any inclination to religion, they ruin their careers because they became placed in very important positions. University, if they knew you are a Hindutva man, or if you went around putting a tika, then you will not get your academic positions, and you will not get promotion if you are already there. So this became that for career interests you have to hide your Hindu. So today a kind of self-consciousness, feeling of shame is there to say I am Hindu. I am proud I am a Hindu. want to change that, and that's why I'm campaigning. Why Hindutva doesn't mean that you have to be against any other religion. How you must imbibe our concepts.
Excellent. And Dr. Swami, one last question. I would like to tell our listeners a little bit about your efforts in opening up the Manasa Sarovar Yatra right, for all the yatris or devotees.
Yes. Well, it all began because when the Janata came to power in 1977, Morarji Desai became Prime Minister. And he was known as a very anti-Chinese person. At that time, I was already an expert on China. I spoke the language. I was a professor at Harvard. I was a professor at IIT. I wrote many books, and I was known as China scholar. So one day, Morarji asked me, "How do we deal with China?" So I said, first of all, Indira Gandhi favored Russia, the Soviet Union, over China. We are supposed to be a non-aligned country. Why we should favor any country? So make it clear to China that in the war, because that time the conflict between the Soviet Union and China was very, very intense. They even had border conflict, firing and all that along the Usuri River. So I said to him, let's make it clear to Chinese that in their fight with Russia, we will not take sides. So Morarji said, will you go and convey this? That's how I went. And the whole policy changed. The Soviet Union was very angry. And that's how my influence in China got established. Then in 1981, Deng Xiaoping, their topmost leader, invited me. And at one stage he said, in the end, is there anything I can do for you? So I said, is there anything you want that is left unsaid? So I said, yes, I have always wanted to visit Kailash Mansarovar, but you have closed it. So he didn't know what Kailash Mansarovar was. So he asked his officials who were sitting by, and they said, they described it. Then he said, why are you interested? I said, I'm interested because I'm a Hindu. And that is the highest, you see. It's a place where everybody wants to go. So he said, okay, we'll give us 2-3 months. We'll clear up the place because these officials say that everything is now blocked there. And then on the condition that you go first, I will allow it. Now I had an Indian ambassador present with me in the talks. So he filed a report. So Mrs. Gandhi was then Prime Minister. So when the clearance came that yes, Hindu pilgrims can go to school, Mrs. Gandhi herself told me, although we were earlier on very bitter enemies, but slowly because of Rajiv Gandhi I started becoming friends with her also. Rajiv Gandhi was a very good friend of mine. So therefore Mrs. Gandhi said yes, you go first. So the first batch of 20 people went. They were all intelligence people. I don't know how about disclosing that. They said we have never seen Tibet, so please take us along with you. So 20 people went. The Chinese knew they were intelligent people. They tried to tell me, please keep it secret, but when I crossed the border, and the Chinese knew already. So I went to Kailash. It's a beautiful place, and Mansarovar is such a pleasure to take. I would advise every Hindu. At least now the traveling is much easier.
Yes, there are some.
And if you can't walk, go to Nepal and take a helicopter. You see? So there is, it's Shiva's place. So one day I hope I can persuade the Chinese to give it to India completely.
That will be great, Dr. Swami. And Dr. Swami, once again, thank you very much for taking your valuable time. I know you have a very busy schedule ahead. You'll be participating in this Hindu Unity Day organized by Sanatan Dharma Foundation in the Holiday Inn Express today. And I know that you'll be talking about Adharma of corruption.
Yes.
So, listeners, if any one of you are interested to listen to Dr. Swami, you can go to the Holiday Inn Express, especially